Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 58, number 263. Narrated by Aisha. When Allah's apostle came to Medina, Abu Bakr and Bilal got fever, and I went to both of them and said, "O my father, how do you feel? O Bilal, how do you feel?" Whenever Abu Bakr's fever got worse, he would say, "Every man will meet his death once in one morning while he will be among his family, for death is really nearer to him than his leather shoelaces to his feet." And whenever fever deserted Bilal, he would say aloud, "Would that I know whether I shall spend a night in the valley of Mecca, with Idkir and Jalil, i.e. kinds of grass, around me, and whether I shall drink one day the water of Marjana, and whether I shall see once again the hills of Shamma and Tafel." Then I went to Allah's apostle and told him of that. He said, "O Allah, make us love Medina as much as or more than we used to love Mecca. O Allah, make it healthy and bless its sa and mud, i.e. measures, and take away its fever to Al-Juva." Volume 5, Book 58, number 264. Narrated by Ubaydullah bin Ad bin Kia. I went to Uthman. After reciting Tashahhud, he said, "Then after no doubt, Allah sent Muhammad with the truth. And I was amongst those who responded to the call of Allah and His Prophet and believed in the message of Muhammad. Then took part in the 2 migrations. I became the son-in-law of Allah's apostle and gave the pledge of allegiance to him by Allah. I never disobeyed him, nor did I deceive him till Allah took him unto him." Volume 5, Book 58, number 265. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. During the last Hajj led by Umar, Abdurrahman bin Auf returned to his family at Mina and met me there. Abdurrahman said to Umar, "O chief of the believers, the season of Hajj is the season when there comes the scum of the people, besides the good amongst them. So I recommend that you should wait till you go back to Medina. For it is the place of migration and sunnah, i.e. the Prophet's tradition. And there you will be able to refer the matter to the religious scholars and the nobles and the people of wise opinions." Umar said, "I will speak of it in Medina on my very first sermon I will deliver there." Volume 5, Book 58, number 266. Narrated by al-Ala. An Ansari woman who gave the pledge of allegiance to the Prophet that the Ansar drew lots concerning the dwelling of the emigrants. Uthman bin Mazan was decided to dwell with him, i.e. al-Ala's family. Uthman fell ill and I nursed him till he died, and we covered him with his clothes. Then the Prophet came to us and I, addressing the dead body, said, "O Abu as-Sa'ib, may Allah's mercy be on you. I bear witness that Allah has honored you." On that the Prophet said, "How do you know that Allah has honored him?" I replied, "I do not know. May my father and my mother be sacrificed for you, O Allah's apostle. But who else is worthy of it, if not Uthman?" He said, "As to him, by Allah, death has overtaken him, and I hope the best for him. By Allah, though I am the apostle of Allah, yet I do not know what Allah will do to me. By Allah, I will never assert the piety of anyone after him." That made me sad, and when I slept I saw in a dream a flowing stream for Uthman bin Mazan. I went to Allah's apostle and told him of it. He remarked, "That symbolizes his good deeds." Volume 5, Book 58, number 267. Narrated by Aisha. The day of Bu'at was a day, i.e. battle, which Allah caused to take place just before the mission of His apostles, so that when Allah's apostle came to Medina, they, the tribes, had divided into hostile groups, and their nobles had been killed, and all that facilitated their conversion to Islam. Volume 5, Book 58, number 268. Narrated by Aisha. that once Abu Bakr came to her on the day of Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha while the Prophet was with her, and there were two girl singers with her, singing songs of the Ansar about the day of Bu'ath. Abu Bakr said twice, "Musical instrument of Satan." But the Prophet said, "Leave them, Abu Bakr, for every nation has an Eid, i.e. festival, and this day is our Eid." Volume 5, Book 58, number 269. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. When Allah's apostle arrived at Medina, he alighted at the upper part of Medina among the people called Bani Amr bin Auf, and he stayed with them for 14 nights. Then he sent for the chiefs of Bani and Najjar, and they came, carrying their swords. As if I am just now looking at Allah's apostle on his she-camel with Abu Bakr riding behind him, on the same camel, and the chiefs of Bani and Najjar around him till he dismounted in the courtyard of Abu Ayyub's home. The Prophet used to offer the prayer wherever the prayer was due, and he would pray even in sheepfolds. Then he ordered that the mosque be built. He sent for the chiefs of Banu and Najjar, and when they came, he said, "O Banu and Najjar, suggest to me the price of this garden of yours." They replied, "No, by Allah, we do not demand its price except from Allah. In that garden there were the following things that I will tell you: graves of pagans, unleveled land with holes and pits, etc., and date palm trees. Allah's apostle ordered that the graves of the pagans be dug up and the unleveled land be leveled and the date palm trees be cut down. The trunks of the trees were arranged so as to form the wall facing the Qibla. The stone pillars were built at the sides of its gate. The companions of the Prophet were carrying the stones and reciting some lyrics, and Allah's apostle was with them, and they were saying, "O Allah, there is no good excel the good of the hereafter, so bestow victory on the Ansar and the emigrants." Volume 5, Book 58, number 270. Narrated by Abdur Rahman bin Humayd Az Zuhri. I heard Umar bin Abdul Aziz asking as Sa'ib, the nephew of an Nimr, "What have you heard about residing in Mecca?" The other said, "I heard Al-Ala bin al-Hadrami saying, Allah's apostle said, an emigrant is allowed to stay in Mecca for 3 days after departing from Mina, i.e. after performing all the ceremonies of Hajj." Volume 5, Book 58, number 271. Narrated by Sa'al bin Sa'd. The Prophet's companions did not take as a starting date for the Muslim calendar the day the Prophet had been sent as an apostle or the day of his death, but the day of his arrival at Medina. Volume 5, Book 58, number 272. Narrated by Aisha. Originally, 2 rakat were prescribed in every prayer. When the Prophet migrated to Medina, 4 rakat were enjoined, while the journey prayer remained unchanged, i.e. 2 rakat.